All right, let's jump right in. If you're a hotelier, you know the daily puzzle. It never changes, right? How do you sell the right room to the right person at the right time for the right price? It is a serious balancing act, and today we're going to break down the strategy to absolutely nail it.
You know, this quote from Cheryl Kimes, it just hits the nail on the head. It's not just some nice goal to have, it's the entire philosophy. This is our North Star for everything we're about to cover.
And this is exactly why that philosophy is so important. Think about it. An empty hotel room isn't like a can of soup you can sell tomorrow. Once midnight hits, that night's revenue is gone. Poof, it vanishes forever. It's probably the most perishable product on the planet, which is why having a smart pricing strategy isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential. So, where do we even start with all this? Well, before you can put a price tag on a single room, you gotta lay the groundwork. You have to know who you're selling to. And that brings us to the very first building block of our strategy, segmentation. Okay, so market segmentation sounds kind of formal, but it's really simple. It's just recognizing that not all guests are created equal. You've got this giant sea of travelers out there, and segmentation is how you sort them into smaller, more manageable groups. It's kind of like organizing a bookstore. You wouldn't just dump every single book into one big pile, would you? Of course not. You'd have sections for fiction, nonfiction, travel. It's the same idea here.
And here's a perfect look at what that means in the real world. You've got your business traveler. They probably need a flexible cancellation policy and aren't as worried about the price because the company's paying. Then you have a family on vacation. They're looking for value, booking way in advance, and are super price sensitive. And don't even get me started on a big wedding party versus, say, a contracted airline crew. Totally different worlds, right? Understanding these differences, that's where the magic happens. That's the key to everything.
All right, block 1 is down. We know who we're talking to. Now let's build on that with block 2, the art of the price. This is where we get into the fun stuff, figuring out what to actually charge people.
Now this is a huge shift in thinking. The old school way was all about cost-based pricing. It was very inward-looking. Okay, my costs are this much, I want to make this much profit, so the price is that. It's all about the hotel. But the modern approach, it flips the script entirely. It's value-based. It starts with the guest and asks a totally different question. What is this experience actually worth in their eyes? It's a game changer. So that begs the question, right? If value is all about perception, how do you boost that perception without just, well, dropping your price? And the answer is a seriously powerful tool every hotelier should love: strategic packaging. So what is it about a good package that people love so much? Well, it pushes all the right buttons. First, there's just the pure convenience of it all. Everything's taken care of. Then, there's that feeling that you're getting something special, something designed just for you. And maybe the biggest one, the feeling of it being all-inclusive. You know, you avoid that awful feeling of being nickeled and dimed for every little thing. Everyone hates that. And here's how that looks with real numbers. Check this out. If a guest bought everything separately, the room, some food and drinks, a spa treatment, it would add up to 320 euros. But you bundle it all together into a relaxation package for 240 euros? What just happened? For the guest, it feels like an incredible deal, a massive saving. And for the hotel, you've just locked in guaranteed revenue for your restaurant and your spa, not just the room. It is a total win-win. Okay, great. We've got our segments, we've got our value-packed prices, but what about when things get crazy? I'm talking about when a huge concert or a massive conference rolls into town and suddenly everyone wants a room. Your phone is blowing up. Do all these nice strategies just go out the window? Well, that's where our third and final building block comes in: managing demand. See, during these peak times, your most powerful weapon isn't always just jacking up the price. Sometimes it's about controlling who can book and for how long. And for that, you need your toolkit of availability controls. And this toolkit has a few really important tools. You've got minimum length of stay, which is great for preventing your peak night from getting filled up with one-night-only guests. Then there's close to arrival for that one super peak day when you just can't handle any more check-ins. You can even use a maximum length of stay to make sure lower-rate guests don't bleed into your next high-demand period. But, and this is a big but, you have to be careful. As you can see, each one has a potential downside if you're not smart about it.
Let's use a real-world example. Imagine a massive trade show like ITB Berlin is happening. Demand is just through the roof. Now, a rookie hotelier might just crank up the price for that main night. But a smart hotelier, they're going to put a 2 or even 3 night minimum stay in place. Why would they do that? Simple. They don't want to sell out that one peak night only to have a half-empty hotel the night before and the night after. This strategy protects the shoulder nights and maximizes revenue for the entire event. Super smart.
So we've walked through our 3 big building blocks. But the real key here, the most important takeaway, is that these aren't separate ideas. The magic happens when you see how they all fit together, like puzzle pieces, into one complete strategy.
And here it is, the whole process in 3 simple steps. 1. Segment your guests. You gotta know who you're selling to. 2. Price for value. Create offers and packages they'll love. And 3. Control for demand. Use your tools when things get busy. See how each one logically flows into the next?
And this is so crucial to understand. They're all connected. You can't just dream up a package without knowing what your leisure traveler segment actually wants, and you can't just slap on a minimum stay rule without forecasting demand properly. Each piece of this strategy feeds into the next, making the whole thing stronger.
So, to wrap this all up, let's look to the future a little bit. With data getting so incredibly smart, are we heading for a world where every single person who looks up your hotel gets a completely unique personalized price? And if we are, what does that do to our idea of what's fair? It's a big question and definitely something to keep an eye on.